I'm a 17-year-old female and I'm going to be heading off to college in a couple of months. I live with my parents and younger siblings. I'm worried about leaving my siblings behind with my parents due to their unstable relationship. I'm convinced my dad has some mental issues and refuses to go to a psychiatrist or take therapy because he thinks family is the best medicine. My dad is really paranoid, insecure, has trust issues, had a bad childhood, and takes it out on his family. He thinks my mother, who works hard as a nurse, 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, is cheating on him. This sends him into chaos where he goes through all her stuff trying to dig up some dirt on her. These occur more often due to the pandemic, but even before, he's been like this for the past 10 years. My mum, siblings and I have run away from him multiple times, but he always finds a way to manipulate my mum into coming back. April-May last year was absolutely terrifying and traumatizing. For 2 whole weeks, it felt like I was walking on eggshells. My dad went on his frenzy, looking through my mum's phones, drawers, closet, and every personal container, trying to find something. He would follow my mum around the house, asking to talk with her, but my mum was sick and tired of his antics. He was literally obsessed with finding some kind of a clue. He never gave her any room to breathe, even waking her up at 5 a.m. after she finished her swing shift. He spent his days locked in his bedroom and bathroom, re-watching the same security camera clips over and over again. I would listen to them argue, and my mum would come up with reasonable points and counters, but my dad fought back with, "Just admit it already," or "Stop messing with me." Just from his presence alone, you could tell he was unhinged. One morning they were fighting in the living room at 5 a.m. Things were escalating, so I called the cops, and of course they did nothing but tell my dad to cool off. Can't blame him though. My dad was on his best behaviour when they came by, insisting it was just an argument. The 2 weeks of hell ended up with us running away to our grandparents, with my mum suggesting divorce. I was ecstatic, but we only got to spend 3 days there, just for him to come back on his knees and beg for forgiveness. And of course I wouldn't be making this post if my mum refused to run back to him. He admitted he felt hurt when I told him I didn't want to go home with him. Funny, right? Even in that 3-day break, he was FaceTiming us 24/7, begging me to hand the phone over to my mum. We came home to find he didn't even bother cleaning up the house. All of a sudden he was acting like the ideal dad, buying us pizza, taking us out, and spending quality time with us, as if nothing happened. I had a talk with my mum about this, and I sobbed like a little baby. She kept defending him, saying, "He's trying his best," or "He is family, we can't just leave him." But she says that we can't leave him because he's family, admitting that we will stay with him, even if it costs us our mental health, because that's what family does, right? I was very angry, and I'm still very angry. She said therapy will do no good. They'll just give you meds. They don't care about you like family. So what am I supposed to do? Back to the beginning. I have an opportunity to leave for college and live with my grandparents, or stay here and endure this chaos for another 2 years. I have some problems with moving. I don't have a driver's license yet. Leaving my siblings behind kind of has me worried, and I need good reasons, excuses, to move out without directly mentioning our issues as a family. My mental health is in shambles, but I have to keep a mask on 24/7 to avoid rising suspicions. My dad thinks I'm constantly hiding my feelings, which I am because I know talking will do no good. He thinks I'm going to abandon him in the future, so he kind of guilt trips me for that. I don't hate my dad. In fact, I hate that I love him. It really hurts to love someone that breaks promises repeatedly, but you don't want to abandon them. What I'm worried about most is leaving my 12-year-old brother and having him take my place. I don't want him to end up like me, full of anger, spite and confusion. Any advice would be greatly appreciated. OP has now posted an update. I previously made a post asking for advice about the situation with my narcissistic father and his constant emotional and verbal abuse in my family, and I still can't believe I managed to get out of that household. I was supposed to leave in August for college, but I just couldn't take it anymore. I was so fed up with his BS. In the time between when I made my post and the day I left, I'd been completely ignoring him. He got mad at me a few times, yelling at me, demanding respect and acknowledgement. He threatened he would kick me out once I graduated from high school, but he can't kick me out if I move out first. He kept telling me that I have too much pride and that I'm too cocky, but he just doesn't want to accept that he is the problem in the household. He was constantly gaslighting in arguments, so I just ignored him to prevent him getting any weaknesses of mine. As for my mum, she was very upset and sad I was leaving. I cried like a little baby because I was going to miss her and my siblings. I even thought about staying for a bit just to be with them, but I knew it wasn't going to benefit anybody. She wanted us to make up and pretend nothing happened, but my dad is just a horrible person, to the point where I can't stand looking at him. He has been physically violent to his family before, and I believe he should be in jail for the abuse against my mum, siblings and I. On the day I was leaving, he decided to cause a scene with me, telling me he didn't owe me anything and wishing me luck in life with a petty voice. Here he was, a grown man, acting like a 4-year-old. I used to be scared of him. Now I realized how sad and disgusting this sad sack really is. But for now, I'm safe and with my grandparents. I felt pretty good to have graduated high school and experienced success without his support. I bought my very first phone, had my first job interview, learned how to drive, applied for colleges without his help, and I'm so proud of myself. You should be proud of yourself, OP. I'm proud of you, and I don't even know you. I know how difficult it is, though, to get away from an abusive household, particularly when you're so young and you don't know what options are available to you. So good for you. I'm so proud of you. And I'm so happy that you're in a safer space and you can just live your life now. So good luck, OP. I'm sure you're going to do great things. And just remember, take care of yourself and be happy.